Welcome back to the Honest Garage. Before we get into the cars, let's take a quick trip back to Britain in the 90s. A decade of dial-up internet, 4 TV channels soon becoming 5, Oasis versus Blur, kids riding their bikes home before the streetlights came on, and knocking for your friends. That's not even a thing anymore in 2025. Petrol was cheap, insurance was questionable, and the roads were filled with cars that defined an era. It was loud, it was simple, and it was brilliant. So let's rewind the clock and look back at some of the cars that you remember from the 90s. In at number 3, we've got the Ford Escort Mk4. It's one of those true classic dad cars. It was reliable, yes. Cool, not really, but it was iconic because it was everywhere. Loved by family men, the Mk4 will always be remembered as the car your dad had or even your granddad. And yes, the boot could fit a whole week's shopping in, plus extra. Whether your dad owned one or your granddad, everyone in Britain had one at some point, I feel like, or knew somebody that had one. And if you're a true car lover or a super cool dad, you had the RS Cosworth version of the Escort, also known to us teenagers at the time, the Cosy, with a 0 to 60 time of 5.6 seconds back in the day. That was incredible. And every weekend you'd see one of these flying up and down Southend Seafront at a car meet. And the RS Cosworth was the car every teenager loved, wanted, and wanted their dad to have. The Escort RS Cosworth is the first car I see in real life that I'd actually seen in Max Power magazine. And it was on Southend Seafront when I was about 10 years old. Also, drop this video a like if you remember going down to the newsagents to pick up Max Power or Fast Car magazine. Number 2 on the list, the Vauxhall Corsa B. The car every teenager modified with stickers, spoilers, exhausts. If, like me, you grew up in Essex or on a council estate somewhere in the UK, you would have seen your next door neighbour's 17-year-old son putting up with one with a giant exhaust on, waking you up at 3 a.m. And back in the 90s, it was one of those cars you see on every street corner. Either a granddad owned it, or a young teenage boy thrashing it around the streets. It was just one of those quintessential British cars that everyone remembers from the 90s. And it was cheap to insure, cheap to buy. A lot of models didn't even have power steering, so you needed the forearms to turn the corner. And don't forget about having tape cassette players in your car too. And number 1 on the list is the Ford Fiesta Mk4. The Fiesta Mk4 is the ultimate 90s British car. Compact, practical, and absolutely everywhere. Everyone had one. Even my mum had one from brand new, and it being the first new car I've ever sat in. And let's be honest, if you didn't learn to drive in one, did you even grow up in Britain? And fun fact about this car, it outsold almost every car in 1996 and 1997. So that's why it's number 1 on the list. Because if you don't think 90s and think Fiesta Mk4, where was you? So there you have it. The top 3 cars every Brit remembers from the 90s. Do you agree or do you disagree? I'm sure you're thinking, where's the Rover Metro? Drop your top 3 in the comments. Thanks for watching today. Remember to like the video, comment your top 3 down below and subscribe. Let me know what you want to hear in the next video.